video. I thought about doing this tomorrow, but given that the Royal Rumble is Sunday, and that most of you probably would not see this by the time I got the video up tomorrow, that I would go ahead and do it tonight. So there we go. So this is a preview of sorts for the Royal Rumble. I usually don't do previews for pay-per-views, but the Royal Rumble is actually something that I almost always order. It's one of my favorite pay-per-views, as the Royal Rumble is my second favorite gimmick match of all time, only next to War Games. Please bring War Games back, WWE, please! Anyways, so I thought I'd just kind of go over this, because this is always one of those weird things. The Rumble has kind of a mystery all to itself, but overall, looking at the card actually does not look too bad, to be honest. I'm almost positive they're probably going to add some more stuff to this, because I just can't see I just can't see there being the matches that they have announced on the website, to be honest, unless these matches are going to be really long, and the Royal Rumble itself. But anyways, excuse me. Everything on here is, I think, possibility of being good. I don't think there's any crap on here, so that's good. Of course, everyone wants to see, I think, Orton and Hardy, just to see how that turns out. Mysterio and Edge should be a very good match. MVP versus Flair should be interesting, and Chris Jericho versus JBL, again, should be interesting. I'm going to be interested to see how all this works out. And of course, we have the Royal Rumble itself, which is pretty interesting, as we always have this kind of mystery about the Royal Rumble of what it's going to be. I've read a lot of sites that people not doing their homework have, always kind of complained about the Royal Rumble not being the main event, not being the automatic main event for WrestleMania. But if you go to WWE's site, and if they go by this, and of course they can always change it, which is their prerogative, it does list that the winner will get a World Championship match in the main event at WrestleMania. That's what it says, so I would imagine that we probably won't actually know till the pay-per-view, but that is what they have listed here, so I would imagine that is probably what they are going to do. Also, the other kind of point of contention that a lot of people always have is just what's the interval going to be between guys coming in. Apparently, they're going to do 90 seconds, which is a minute 30, which isn't bad. I think time constraint reasons, I think that is often okay in my opinion. Everyone always likes the 2 minutes better. I agree. I think it runs better when it's 2 minutes, but the 90 seconds does work. I think that's enough time where, a minute is not enough, of course, at all, because it seems like guys are just coming in, and it just, 30 minutes for the Rumble just isn't enough. And this will still give you about 45 minutes for the most part to get everybody in, and then you still got another 15 minutes to play with for the Rumble itself. So it still should be about an hour, which is good. So there you go. The question, of course, now is going to be, if they do stick with this and the World Championship belt, and the winner is the main event at WrestleMania, that does, of course, limit, unfortunately, because of the WWE, how the WWE thinks, who's going to win this. I don't see us getting a huge surprise, which is unfortunate, because if you look at the build, unless they give us a real just strange swerve, I would bet money it's going to be Triple H winning this thing, unless we get something kind of out of whack, which I don't really see. I personally am glad I would imagine CM Punk's going to be in this match. I would imagine that's why he lost the belt on ECW, so he could be in this match, which I think is good, because I think he'll get a good pop. I've talked about this before. I think he's going to get a good, that kind of push you give, and I would definitely like to see him be, at least in the final 5, because I think if you look at all the guys that are going to be in this, I think he's definitely deserving of being in the final 5, unless, it's the same people we've seen over and over again, and that gets boring. And I think if that doesn't happen, Punk's going to get one of those big pops that you often hear when the fans are upset when guys get eliminated before people think they should get eliminated, which we have seen in the past. Cena's got a pop like that. Rikishi at one point got a pop like that. Guys, there's usually one guy in the Rumble that people usually pop for negativity as far as they didn't want to see him get eliminated, that gets eliminated, that's kind of a mid-card guy, and kind of shows the WWE doesn't really have their pulse. In my opinion, that's a great example of showing when the WWE does not have their pulse on certain guys and they don't see just how over some guys really are. Um, and I think that's one thing about the Royal Rumble is you get to see just how over certain guys are with other guys. It's a good compare and contrast as far as just where guys are. Now it has a lot to do with live events, and of course we're in they're going to be Madison Square Garden. It's going to be a little smarter crowd, and that'll probably But I always do feel that that the Rumble is the one place where you can go. You can have all the talent on display, and you can really see just which guys are considered more over than other guys if you just listen to the reactions. When guys are introduced, when guys are eliminated. Do you have a guy who's a mainstay when he gets eliminated? Do the fans go crazy because they're like, yes, we're going to see something different, which is what I would like to see. But it looks like they're really building for this, Triple H having the odds stacked against him to get to WrestleMania for the World Championship, which, we've seen with Austin before, and of course Triple H is no Austin, so it's just not working out, in my opinion, as well. But I am looking forward to the pay-per-view, again, I will be ordering it, as this is one of the pay-per-views that I always intend ordering because I love it. I always think it's worth the money. I always kind of mark out. I always just enjoy it. The pay-per-views, you always kind of judge the Royal Rumble pay-per-view on the Royal Rumble. And over the last few years, they've actually been, delivering as far as other matches as well, which is nice to see. And I think this pay-per-view could be extremely well, but we've thought that about other WWE pay-per-views over the last year, and the WWE booking committee has gotten in the way and pretty much screwed things up, which is never very good. However, there you go. Like I said, I just wanted to come on here and talk a little bit about the Rumble, just share some of this info as far as what the WWE has posted. If they keep to this, again, it's one thing that I don't like about, winning in the main event, because I do think it kind of limits often who they put in the main event. But hopefully they do swerve us a little bit, and we do get somebody new to be put in the main event. I think this is an opportunity to do that. So there you go. I was really hoping. I'll tell you what I was hoping for. I was really hoping that they wouldn't do this, so that CM Punk would win the Royal Rumble, and we would get a CM Punk Edge feud going into WrestleMania. I don't see them letting either of those two guys be on the main event, unfortunately. But I think it would be an awesome feud. I think it would be an awesome match, and I definitely think it would be WrestleMania worthy. So I don't think we're going to see that. Kind of disappointed in that, but we'll have to see how everything works out. You never know. Maybe we'll get something different. We all kind of thought we knew what was going to happen last year at WrestleMania at the Royal Rumble, and it turned out to be a very good Royal Rumble. So what you gonna do? Anyways, that's all. I will be back tomorrow with a review of Manhattan Mayhem 2, just so you guys know. Probably be later in the night, probably about this time. I'm getting back to my normal routine of putting videos up in the middle of the night. Yes. So later. Have a good one.